heavily or
Yes,
something. Yes,
yes. So these are environmental issues. These are issues that have to do with climate change. And because of that, if you don't have this information, you will not know what to do. So information is available at your fingertips. All right. So ICT makes the information available. There are other ones. For instance, you talked about farmers and herders issue. What can ICT do to solve that issue? Now, Tracy, if you look at the issue with farmers and herders, the number one issue is that yes, there's a real issue. The real issue is that there's desert encroachment, right? There's not enough grasses for the headers to feed their cattle. That one is real issue. No matter how much you look at it politically, is a real issue. Now there's also the issue of advancement. If human beings we keep advancing, population is increasing. So more and more people need more space, they need more land. But because we are advancing, we cannot keep doing things the way we used to do them. So if you look at ICT coming in, if we do ranching, for instance, having these cattle instead of moving them about, having a designated place for them for and feeding them. These headers can have access to information. There are applications, there are software, there are information that they can get access to on how to feed these cattle in a place, not moving them up and down. And of course, the cattle will be more healthy, right? They themselves will be more healthy because they don't need to move up and down. They will be safer because moving about in the bush, there are a lot of dangers for them, cattle rustlers and all that and all that. So if they can stay in a place, have all the information, feed their cattle, you have access to the market too because with ICT, you have access to the market. All right, there's e-commerce, there's access to global market. So people know where they are, people know how to access them. So this can reduce the clashes because one, nobody will be moving about, the land will be available for agriculture, the land will be available for cattle, and there will not be any clash. So I think ICT has a lot to offer in this area.
okay, fine. From the points you just laid out now, it looks like ICT is one magic wand that can just solve a whole lot. I'm that optimistic about ICT actually. But then let's look at, for instance, we'll talk about food crisis now. Um, Desert encroachment, most arable land masses are not longer that much. Though from research, it's been said that it's only 10% of our arable land mass that has actually been deployed, yeah, in terms of agriculture. But how can ICT play a role, especially in our food production? Because the way it's looking now, like there is massive food scarcity. Are you of that mindset that there is? Because so many other persons are like, no, there's no scarcity actually. The issue is information gap of moving from point of production or getting to know point of production, and like our president said sometimes last year that is the middleman that makes food to be that expensive.
Yeah.
Can ICT play any role in solving this? Because food increment in the market has gone beyond. I think it's hitting almost 1,000% increment from what it used to be, especially at harvest season. That things, food stuff used to be cheap, and food used to be like a very common thing. Now food is like a very precious something because of how expensive it is in the market. Can ICT play a role in solving this?
Thank you, Tracy. When you started, you say it's like ICT has this, magic. Well, the truth is that it's knowledge is powerful. I mean, the scripture, the Holy Book says that my people perish for lack of knowledge. So knowledge is very important. Now, ICT can play a lot of role in terms of food security and food availability. Now, you asked whether is it really true that food is scarce. Well, I'll answer that question in two ways. Well, I don't really think food is scarce because in Nigeria, by the grace of God, we are blessed with. I think we are the most blessed. By the time you look at the amount of land we have, how fertile our land is, even without fertilizer. I mean, I can talk about this because my father was a farmer. May God bless his soul. My father was a farmer, and I am a farmer. I was a farmer. I am a farmer actually. I'm still a farmer because I grew up on the farm. So I understand how farming is done. And my father used to be a commercial farmer. He produced cocoa yam, and corn and all those things. And he was
Mm-hmm.
doing them in large quantity commercially. He was a very wealthy man from farming. So what I see today is that there's a first problem. The first issue is that there's this information gap, like you rightly mentioned. I'll start with that. If you've been to these village markets in Abuja or other parts of the country, you'll be amazed at the amount of wastage we have.
That takes
Right?
place, right?
Look at Orange, for instance. Go to Orange Market, all those markets in Maraba and other places. You see how these fruits are wasted: orange, watermelon, mango. All these things come. They are seasonal fruits, and they come in their season. They were so blessed. So when this thing comes, the challenge is that there is no way, first of all, to preserve this thing beyond a certain amount of time.
They are natural,
Yes,
perishable
yes.
time
So,
limits.
so if you look at that, you see that technology can solve that preservation. Now you talk about the information access to the market. The farmers in one local village, they don't have access to information. They just harvest and they take to the nearest market. Whatever they see on the market day is either they sell it at a horrible price based on the fact that nobody's there to buy. They just give it away, or they just allow it to waste. Let's take, for instance, these farmers are equipped, with information. They are trained on how to use smartphone, for instance. They have their smartphone. Okay, they can do Instagram, they can do Facebook, they can, they can take pictures. They can have e-commerce. That's a place where their product can be sold. If people know that the products are there, let me give you a typical example. Let's say, for instance, we have watermelon, for instance. Most of us are lovers of water. I love watermelon a lot, and so many of us eat watermelon. Let's say we have a farmer who is into watermelon, produces watermelon, good quality watermelon, and this farmer have access to technology, right? ICT, has access to a smartphone, just a smartphone with internet connection, all right? And he understands how to use it, and he's able to, get his message out that this is what I have, and people are aware that he has these things, and
They
they
can come
know
all the way.
Yes, they know at what point he will harvest this thing. All that is needed to be done is to connect a middleman, which is the logistics, and Nigeria is doing a lot in logistics. If you've noticed, moving things from from any part of Nigeria from one part of Nigeria to the other is now very, very
much
easy.
easier.
If you want to send anything across, there are so many players in this: big, small, medium, all of them are playing, and it's very efficient. They pick up your item, they deliver it to the next location without any stress. All right. Let's say we bring in that logistics in between, right? So this farmer is there, the logistics is there, right? Then the ICT connects everything together. So there's a request. The request goes through the logistics and gets to the final consumer. So you can see the farmer, the logistics, the consumer. So ICT connects everything together. So with that, the farmer does not need to move. So not moving has already impacted the environment, because it doesn't need to move to carry those things to the market and waste them. The thing can be taken from the farm direct. It's just to create a little place, warehouse or something around the farm where the harvest will be taken to, and from there the logistic people picks it and delivers it to the people who need them. And you can see we've cut off the middlemen who would have carried this thing and inflated the prices. So you can move straight from the farm through the logistics and straight to the consumer. One, the consumer will get it very fresh. All right, very, very fresh. It's not like this one you store for days and the nutrients are lost. So the consumer will get it very fresh. The farmer will get his money.
And the value for
the value for the money, because now there's no middleman, right? And the logistics is cheap. Like I told you, Nigeria is doing a lot. I love this country. Very innovative. The young people are doing a whole lot. The logistic industry is doing a whole lot, and I want to really appreciate them, what they are doing, because moving things. I mean, in the business I do, I move a lot of things, and I know how easy it is to move things. Anything you want to move, whether heavy, light, is very easy. With these guys, they make it. You just sit in your office, make a call, and the bike man is there or the truck is there. They pick your item. The next thing, it has been delivered to the location. So ICT can do a lot.
So if ICT, because even the terrorists and the bandits that are ravaging most of our village environments, our communities where most of this production is taking place, they use ICT actually. You see most of those horrible pictures of the evil they are doing, the way they snap, they do the video and share it. So if if these evil human beings can actually take advantage of ICT, why will it be so difficult for the farmer in the village to do the same thing?
Tracy, it's the same thing we're talking about. It's about access to information. Like I told you, sometimes when I discuss with parents, some parents that might term as analog. I don't mean any harm with the word. They are of this opinion that ICT is evil, online is evil. I don't even want my child to get close to this thing. It's better to just stay off. So that's weird. That's the missing gap. So some people have this idea that, oh, I don't need to touch this thing. I don't need to use it. It's just better to stay away. Now, the evil people are now the one using this thing. They are now the one who are making use of this thing. But this tool is actually available to everybody. Available, in the internet. When we talk about online, we say there's the good, the bad, the ugly. All right? But anybody can use the tool. The tool is actually there. Anybody can use it, whether for good, for bad, or for ugly. So it's just access to information. These people don't know that these are the benefits that are in this tool. So if they know, so that's where the government comes in, that's where the communities come in, that's where the NGOs come in, that's where the youth organizations come in, that's where the church come in, mosque come in, all these people, to educate the people, to let them know that these tools are available. You can use them. Of course, it's not free. These tools, it involves money, right?
Yeah, but look at the benefit it can bring to the table, right? If for instance you automate your farm,
Yep.
with even not very very smartphone sort of, you can be able to network around regions that could pick your watermelon, for instance.
Yes.
And then you send information across and say, at so time of the year I'll be harvesting this quantity of watermelon.
Great.
Even if it takes you like 1,000 naira data to do that, you would have saved yourself the pain of producing those massive quantities of watermelon for peanuts, and it gets wasted completely. And this is like an outcry too to some of our elites.
Yes.
Benue, for instance, the food basket of this country. If you go, you are even talking about the local food or fruit markets. How about where these things are being produced in those interior communities? Why can't some of these elites set up a mini processing factories or something in those communities, just to like maybe an CSR, maybe a support to your community, instead of keeping 500 naira to use and give to them during voting season to vote you into power? What they will do once in 4 years time, that they don't even have access to you anymore, or have access to most of what was promised, right?
Yeah.
So most of our elites can actually do something more tangible in that line that can help some of these communities set up a mini processing cottage or industries or something. And somebody once on this program once, like, if Indians that not educated in their interior communities can set up, like a community access point for maybe processing and all that, they can set that up and it's very efficient. How come most Nigerians can't really do this in those interior communities? So it is like,
yeah.
I'm just saying that it's something that we really need to look into critically.
Yes, you're actually correct, and I think I need to add my voice to this. And I think that's one of the things. That's one of the issue that this program want to look at, get the message out, because it's all about getting the message out. I'm sure our elites and those of them in places of authority who have this access to these resources, I'm sure some of them may be listening to this program. This is not the first time this kind of message is going on, but I think with what is going on, it's a cry that we need to shout it louder. That agriculture has a lot to offer, right? And the young people are willing. Sometimes they say the youths are not willing, the young people are not willing, but I beg to differ. I mean, I'm a youth leader, and I know, I've seen the passion, I've seen the strength, I've seen the resilience, I've seen that most young people are willing to do a whole lot, but what they lack is guidance. What they lack is, somebody to give them hope, somebody to let them know
just
that
the enabling environment for this
the environment.
to
Okay,
work.
so if these monies, even the monies that are shared to people during campaign, because campaign is coming now and people are going to go buying motorcycle, bag of rice, all manner of mundane things that are not really going to solve any problem. Why not give these people knowledge? Why not give them knowledge? Some of these people, if you give them knowledge, their life will transform. They will do a whole lot. Like you said, creating a mini, processing uh, plant around this farm area is not something impossible, and it doesn't even cost so much.
It doesn't cost so
Right?
much,
And it will have more impact because if the youth, if the people are well taken care of, even the crime rate will reduce,
would
even the
reduce.
troubles, all these things will reduce. Because I mean, sometimes I ask myself, why is it that most of us don't learn from history? How long do we have here? Why can't we just, do something that will make people remember us for good? So we are using this opportunity to say it is doable, and ICT can solve this problem because ICT does not cost much. A smartphone costs how much? Internet connection costs how much? A laptop costs how much? Do you know you can set up somebody just with a laptop and maybe 6 months data, access? You have set up a young person for life. The
Yeah,
person can sit in the comfort of his home and do a whole lot.
So some of our political elites should really think in this line, setting up, because most times if you go through, even on the highway as you're driving through by some of these communities, you see high level of poverty. You see the level of poverty by the kind of places that people are living, and these are people that are so endowed naturally. They produce so much, but it just gets so wasted completely, because it cannot be preserved beyond that season, and information can't just go around like what we are trying to say now.
Yes.
So many processing cottages can just be set up, and communities can actually just come together and set up some of these things.
Yes.
And like what I was trying to share with you back before we got here, like some persons will say, okay, I live in the city, I don't own a farm, so how can I be as small as using tires, like bad tires? Somebody has shared that on this platform, that they set up a system with bad tires, that they plant ugu. What is it called now? This normal ugu
Yes,
that
ugu
people
now.
used to make. Yeah, that
Okay.
you use 20,000 to start that up, and then you have like two, three, four tires pile up on each other, and you plant that thing inside. It has a way of storing water, and you can harvest from it what you can be selling up to 20,000 naira every week. So you just need to like think outside the box, so that we'll see what we can do through information technology to help out. And one last one. Oh man, I'm completely out of time. Okay, send text messages.
Knowledge. Help these youngsters get the knowledge. And I know holiday is coming now. There's holiday coming, summer holiday, where children will be at home for like 6 weeks to 8 weeks, doing nothing. We have what we called Ready to Succeed. It's an ICT campaign. We call it Ready to Succeed Digital Campaign. It's for teenagers and youths, people who need to learn what ICT can do, how they can use ICT, to better their life, to have sustainable living, to even protect the environment. And we're going to have coding in this training. We're going to have building of website, digital marketing. They're going to learn about leadership. They are going to learn about how to do programming. All right, how to create this software that we can actually use to solve this problem. So if you are a parent,
I'm
you can actually
completely out
bring
of
your child to be
time.
part of this
So
program.
like he said already, so there are programs that we need to tap into. Thank you so much, Mr. Emmanuel,
Thank
for
you so much.
giving us this much information. Send text messages only to 070 37519110. There are information out there about what